youtube.com/MayhewMayhem. That's youtube.com/MayhewMayhem.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I am your host, my name is Michael Mayhew, and I am here with my co-hosts.
What's up, everybody? I'm Dale. And also joining us is a man who may talk a lot of crap about being gay, but in reality, he's the one who slides down periscopes a lot faster than I do.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Greg.
30 Minutes of Mayhem is available on YouTube, iTunes, Android, Stitcher, and Spreaker. All you have to do is search MayhewMayhem. That's MayhewMayhem. Make sure to rate us 5 stars. Pretty please.
Also, you can help us afford to continue doing the show by donating to 30 Minutes of Mayhem via PayPal. Just use the email address in the description, 30minutesofmayhem@gmail.com.
Although I am very sure that this is probably illegal in a few of the 50 states based on whatever his crime may or may not have been, I cannot confirm nor deny because I do not want involved. We have a very not so special guest.
Hi, it's Nick from youtube.com/TicTacMan. And just to say something, as you may all have known, I found Jesus. And during a mission trip to Mexico, I saved a bunch of little Mexican sex slaves from a cartel boss. And I've been in prison down there ever since. Didn't go so well.
Now, did you save them from the cartel boss, or did you really just steal them for yourself?
Now,
or
Michael,
would you be incriminating yourself by answering that question?
I just want to point out that I was down there on a mission trip for God. So, of course, I was doing it for myself.
And let's remind everybody here that he does not believe in our one and only true Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Zoltan, wait, what?
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 Hang on, Greg, you're Catholic, right? Doesn't that mean you should hate Nick? How do you get along with him? Oh, I get it. I understand why he gets along with him, because in Catholicism, they're okay with touching little boys, and so is Nick.
I'm actually not Catholic anymore.
Oh, what? Hang on, wait, why you're not Catholic anymore? What happened? Is it
You got tired of touching little boys.
Was it the evolution of their religion from not touching little boys and just being money hungry to being money hungry and touching little boys? Hang on, wait. Speaking of evolution, what do you guys think the next step in evolution is? What happens next? Hang on, wait. Can you? Oh, you said you're not Catholic anymore, so I guess you can answer that. Do you believe in evolution?
Hell yeah, I believe in evolution.
Okay.
There's plenty of evidence for it all around us.
Okay, well then what's the next step in evolution?
Personally, I think the next step in evolution is going to come from something like a combination between both like the natural progression of the human race and also partly enhanced by technology, because with the way technology is advancing, I have this distinct feeling that eventually we're going to see technology being used to further the advancement of the human race and in a way help us to like evolve further.
Now, do you think this will be like a physical evolution, a psychological evolution, or how do you see it? Like, what do you think?
A little bit of both, like physical and psychological evolution, like
But a lot of people will argue that technology, as much as what it's helping us, that it's actually de-evolving us, or I am not sure the exact term you would go with there.
yeah, devolving, de-evolving, those are both okay.
Yeah, and they say that, like for instance, the best thing that I think to date that has ever been created. I sound like a jackass making this statement, but the smartphone is so fucking fantastic. Coming from the generation before the smartphone and the generation like getting the smartphone, so much better than what there was before. Not just talking about phones, just period. I mean, the fact that the internet before, you had to dial up, and if anyone wanted to use the phone, you had to get off the fucking thing. Now, the internet just is a cloud that most people don't understand. And you can have a phone that's no longer attached to anything, and you can carry it around in your pocket. Not only on this phone can you make calls and send text messages, but you can access everything on the internet without having to dial up to it. It's like a fucking miracle from God. Didn't we? Are we just gonna talk about God the whole time, or maybe it's just
Apparently, yes,
I-
but it
I-
sounded
I-
like-
all you find Jesus as well.
um,
He was in Tijuana, by the way. There was a man named Jesus.
yeah, he told us told Nick that everyone has been mispronouncing his name the whole time. But-
Not so happy about it. Not so happy about it.
Oh, real quick, just to interrupt the fun. This is episode number 50, unless I can't count. But chances are this is episode number 50, and this will be the last episode for a while we go on a hiatus for personal reasons. There is a beeping in the background that I'm sure all of you can hear that's ruining my sound quality that my sister better shut that thing the fuck up before I get pissed off. All of that aside, somebody else tell me, what do you think about it?
Well, you
Nick,
see, Mike,
were
because your smartphone there, that's why you can't count that high.
I can't. I mean, Dale sucks at math. I'm pretty decent
Yeah.
at math, okay? But I can't do math that quick anymore because I literally use my phone to do the math. So that is a problem. I do see that from my own personal experience. But let's not talk so much about that, but more. Let's just say humans in general. What happens next for us?
Well, the more I look around Walmart and television, I do believe that in the great Star Wars scape of the universe, we will probably become huts, like Jabba the Hutt, because it's getting larger and more. Doesn't seem like we really need bones as much.
So what you're saying is when you go to Walmart, you normally see more chens than there is in a Chinese phone book on one person.
Yes, on just one person, yes. I figure that, the hover rounds, they'll become integrated to the body and that'll become our moving system.
I really feel like, being a fat piece of shit is not a handicap. Like, because if you're a fat piece of shit, you're not entitled to ride in the little hover round thing. Maybe if you didn't hover around and you walked, you wouldn't be such a fat piece of shit. You know what I mean? Is anybody else feel that way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You ever seen the movie Wall-E?
Oh, yeah.
Back when
You
it
know
came
how
out.
they're all fat and they all got the hover around things.
Yeah,
They
because
even
they've
showed
been in
their,
space for so long, they just,
they
got
all had the
lazy and
robots
just let the machines do everything for them.
I think that's the point that Nick is getting at. My thing about it is, I have a theory on the whole Planet of the Apes style, and as in humans are going to try to communicate with animals more, especially animal activists, and with the increase in technology, they're going to find ways to increase the intelligence with already highly intelligent creatures, not just apes, but dolphins, all that crap. I mean, hell, they're already doing it right now. So it's probably just going to get worse and worse, in my opinion.
So those animal activists can talk to animals better, pick them up, take them home, wink wink, nudge nudge, rape rape.
Haha, I see what he did there.
Were you a prison bitch in prison?
Most
I'd
likely,
rather not talk about it.
yeah, I wasn't gonna
I
go
would.
there.
That's a yes.
I still
So
cry over the lack of Emmanuel in my life.
I think
What's a prison
I have to
bitch?
go back to what Greg said, and that there is tons of evidence of evolution over the time period, and you can see from the different types of basically what do they call them? Do they call them humanoids, human form, whatever? With what we're Homo sapiens, but
Yeah.
there's all the other ones too to get.
Homo erectus. And
Yeah, exactly.
that's the only one I remember because it's also
Erectus,
hilarious. Yes.
Homo erectus. So it's
But-
like, uh,
But on a serious note, it is as though we are becoming smaller, and not just that, we're just developing mentally earlier now. So we're getting smaller and smarter.
yeah, and I think one thing that Nick, especially out of all of us here, is that girls are developing a lot younger, and a lot of them are having kids a lot younger.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to find a girl that's not still a baby that doesn't have a baby. And you need to have your period before you can have a baby, and therefore the younger they are having kids, that means they're having their period at a younger age, which is intriguing, but also kind of fucked up as far as I'm concerned. But that aside, you can see the evidence building up to this point of evolution. So it's like, what has happened next? It's not like we're gonna grow a third arm for just to make things a hell of a lot more simple.
Oh no, it'd just be wonderful. I'd go around doing work all day. That third hand just be jerking me all day.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I would need a new pair of fucking underwear every hour if I had a third arm, because that third arm's sole purpose would be to touch my penis. Imagine
Why want to
a
evolve
woman.
with the third arm when you can evolve with the third leg? If you get my drift.
Boo.
Yeah, I know. That was terrible.
I like
I got into
I like
foot fetish.
I like the awkward silence after his joke. We used to be like extremely hairy, but since then we're starting to lose that. And as I've stated many times on the podcast before, I can't stand certain hair on my body. For instance, the hair on my nuts and the hair on my fucking taint and above my cock drives me insane. I want it to not exist. So as we've been extremely hairy before, and now we're starting to lose hair, will there ever be a point to where pretty much the only hair on our body is on top of our heads? Or will that completely be gone? I know there's a lot of people that say that eventually all of us one day will be grayish, tan grayish color, because that all the races will mix. And Nick, if you'd like to inform everybody of a statement that you were told by a particular person when you were watching Django.
Dem niggas don't ride no horse. Wait, what? In the words of my father, you don't mix salt and pepper.
So if you don't mix,
Not pepper. Pepper.
so if you don't mix salt and pepper, you cannot have that song. What was that song? What was the name of that song? Anybody else remember how that song goes? That really popular Salt and Pepper song?
Push it.
Push It. Was that Salt and Pepper?
They actually had two,
Push
but
it.
yeah,
That was salt and
that was
pepper.
Push
Yeah.
It. Push It to the limit. No, okay, not that one.
That's Rick Ross.
Yeah.
Well,
Shit.
Push
Yeah.
it.
No, that's not them either. Oh, who was that? Static X? Okay. Anyway, so
Yeah, that was
I just heard
Static
them on the
X.
radio. I
salt.
heard them on the radio, and I was just like, how awful it changed it.
Yeah, so salt and pepper. If you don't mix salt and pepper, you can't get gray tan color. Okay, so you can't get there. Eventually, probably they could be right, but the question is, for me at least, the next step in evolution: do we become another version to where we're no longer the actual Homo sapien like we are now, as previous, the Homo erectus, yada yada? Do we become a new Homo? Dale, that seems to be your specialty. Anything involving homos. So I figured you would know.
That's a good possibility.
Yeah, do we branch into another another form of our existence? Like for example, I personally believe that Bigfoot, there is a high chance that a Bigfoot or mini Bigfoot do exist. That they are another branch that did not become Homo sapiens. They became a different branch of humanoid. Again, back to that word.
Yeah, humanoid.
They're a different branch of humanoid in my belief system, but people were, well, why don't you find the bones and yada yada? Well, that would be the same of like humans. We fucking bury our dead. There's a high chance that they would do the same. And you have not covered every inch of this earth to know whether you found them or not. For Christ's sake, you can't even say that you've covered every inch of this country. The deep hollows of West Virginia, I know for a fact that they haven't covered every inch of that to know that to rule West Virginia out of the Bigfoot existence. So my answer to this next question of is Bigfoot real is why not?
I've
You
done the
got
call
wrecked,
at
Nick.
Respecs before, and women have shown up. So I was like,
Well,
Were they black?
no, they were.
And I need to cut
God
that out.
damn it,
Piece of
Dale.
shit. I'm just gonna leave it in. I'm just gonna leave it in for Greg's reaction and my reaction. I'm just gonna leave it in. Everybody on the internet now gets to know that Dale's a piece of shit.
Well, no, he wants to know if it was a black one because he wants to know if I'm a real man or not.
Ah, yes, we were talking about this last week.
Yeah, so I could try it out for myself.
He wants to be a real man. See, the thing that
I want to be a real boy.
the thing that is funny about this, and I'm sure I've probably said this before on the podcast, is that it's not a catch-22, but if Dale has sex with a black woman and becomes a man in his father's eyes, he also loses his father at the same time when his family will disown him for mixing salt and pepper.
But if I don't mix salt and pepper,
He's never
I don't become a
available.
man. I'm gonna never be a man.
Maybe that's the whole test of manhood. Maybe you're supposed to do that, so your father does disown you, and you go out and become your own man.
I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah. You know what? He brings up a good point. Dale, I won't disown you.
What are you gonna do? Tell me I'm a piece of shit for the rest of my life?
Yeah, I will. I'll be like, why'd you ruin your entire family just for to get off? Like, what? That's
Just for a burnt taco?
Okay, now that's a little bit offensive there.
yeah. That there was a little much. We can talk about Nick raping little kids all day, but God forbid you say something about black people.
Yeah, come on now. I'm gonna go get me some of that pumpernickel bread now.
Okay, is this what? Let's just everybody turn racist. 50th episode. Let's be racist piece of shits. Greg, you got a black joke while we're here.
I'm sorry, but I'm not a horrible person like you people are.
Okay, well, hang on. Let me think of one real quick. What do you call a black dude in a suit hanging from a tree?
Branch manager.
Did. All right, now we're all horrible people except for Greg. Somebody else. Let's talk about a Bigfoot and not be racist KKK rally podcast.
You know what sucks about being a black Jew?
Oh, come on now.
Gotta be in the back of the oven.
Anyway, the existence of Bigfoot,
And there goes Ron, no longer listening to us. If he was.
Go on, Greg.
it's hard because like it's one of those things where it's like, okay, like aliens and ghosts and that I believe in because there's a lot of stuff that shows that there's a distinct possibility that they exist, but it's kind of harder for me to believe that Bigfoot exists. I mean, it's an interesting concept, but at the same time, I mean, there's just so little evidence of him actually existing, and there's just so few places where he could be hiding now that I mean, it'd be next to impossible that unless Bigfoot's a friggin' alien or something, and that's why we can't find him because he's not from Earth. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I want to believe in Bigfoot, but at the same time, it's kind of hard for me to believe.
I find it intriguing that you said that you are more likely to believe in aliens or ghosts based on evidence over top of Bigfoot. In my opinion, I feel like there is the least, just of those three, there's the least amount of evidence for ghosts.
I just want to point out that Greg has every season of Ghost Hunter on DVD.
Because
The investment's bigger than yours, Mike. I'm just saying.
You've discovered my secret. I'm gonna have to kill you now.
Okay, aliens, I feel like the fucking universe is so ridiculously huge, the chances of aliens not existing is like zero. Regardless of what Andy Putz wants to say. In your entire lifetime, you would never be able to, like, look at the entire universe. So, I mean, what are the chances that we're the only forms? So I get that, okay? So aliens, 100% believe that they exist. But I feel like in the three that you listed, Bigfoot is over top of ghosts. Just the chances of Bigfoot being a different branch of what is now, like I said, the Homo sapiens versus ghosts existing, I feel like Bigfoot higher chance. I mean, that, of course, my opinion, but and Bigfoot is not just like one solo thing. Again, it's like humans. There's more than one. There's just a small branch. Like, look for example, I mean, the United States with Native Americans. They're so like tiny now. The amount of Native Americans are so small now compared to what they used to be because they were wiped out. So what's to say that it wasn't the same for your Bigfoot? But Nick or Dale, somebody jump in here. What do you think?
I've never really bought into Sasquatch because it always seemed like of the modern mythologies that it was really just bland. I guess every time I look at my ass, there's a possibility that there's a very hairy type of human being because, goddamn, I got caterpillars living between my ass cheeks. I've got a hairy ass, Greg. I've got a hairy ass.
Yeah, but that was kind of a lame ass joke.
I've been saving it for a while now. Been saving it for a while. That's a sad.
No one caught the
joke.
fact that Greg was making a counter joke on Nick's joke. I think, except for me, and his was way worse than what Nick's was.
I got it.
It's not really even what I would call modern though. The
I mean,
stories
it's the
of
same-
Sasquatch go back so far.
But it's the same thing, like over and over. In my opinion, it is. They're always looking for Sasquatch in some wooded out area. It depends on whatever country they're in. One time I seen it was it they were looking for the abominable snowman out in the Himalayas. And here it's like Washington, Virginia, West Virginia, all these really heavily wooded states and countries. I think even in Canada they went up there, and they hear all these sounds that resembled the same creatures that have been on this earth for God knows how long, and that everybody knows where they're coming from. And they're like, "Oh my God, it's a Sasquatch!" Like, no, dude, it's fucking coyote. So it's been like every time I've seen stuff like that, it's always been the same thing. How come, like, I personally, like, I haven't seen anything, like, even on like TV shows or whatever, any skeletons or remains of like earlier Sasquatches? Did they just pop out of nowhere?
Again, I said this to begin with, is the fact that we bury our dead. Why wouldn't they bury theirs?
Do they even have that? How do we know they have that capability?
The belief is that they're basically a branch of another species that, like human, like how the Homo sapien, like I said, evolved to the point to where we are now, that they were an earlier cousin of that evolved differently. So
Yeah, but I figured,
who's to
like,
say that they wouldn't have that capability?
like, how do we know? Do we just like, because there's been places even here where they've done construction, they've dug up like an old Indian burial. They didn't even know it was there. It was just like they're, paving a road and they had to dig up some of the earth, and bam, there's a bunch of bones there.
That's
And
one
it's
haunted
regular.
place, huh?
This
Yeah.
place is. I actually do believe in ghosts way more than anything else. This place is fucking creepy.
They're gonna have fun whenever, if they ever fucking dig up Nick's yard.
But that's just my thing. Is like I have
There'll be
yet to
dogs
see
and kids galore.
actual even dogs. Oh my God.
Tilly. Oh my God, Tilly. They'll dig her up and she'll still be in that hole and she'll still be alive, damn it.
That fucking dog.
She finally die?
Tell it. Please tell him in extreme detail, like you did Adam and I, how this dog, how the dog died. But I gotta say, the dog is just it was such a little like monster, looking like a fucking,
Oh god, yeah, it was awful. I hated that dog.
like a goddamn Ewok.
Jawa?
No.
Ewok.
God damn it. Anyway, so she was a little beast, and I felt like she was the spawn of Satan, and there was no way in hell, like she was a different version of Cerberus, and I felt like there was no way in hell that she would ever die. So please, Nick, inform them in extreme detail, as you did Adam and I, how she succumbed to death.
Well, one of our other dogs is significantly larger than her, and he thought she was looking awful pretty one day.
I can already see where this is going. But please
Well,
continue.
In his just moment of passion there, he kind of just went a little too balls deep, and he basically humped her to death. Her little system couldn't handle such a big dick.
Nick's dog got fucked to death by one of Nick's other dogs.
The dog I hate worse than Tilly, might I add.
Let's just run off of the fact that Bigfoot is real. Let's say Bigfoot is real. Let's say that Bigfoot is discovered, and holy shit, it turns out that Bigfoot fucking exists. What do you think would take place?
Somebody's gonna try to shoot it.
Somebody's gonna try to shoot a Bigfoot, but the next motherfucker in line is gonna try to fuck it. Probably not to death like Nick's dog was. If Sasquatch exists and you're fucking a Sasquatch, is that technically bestiality?
Animal activists are gonna say it is.
Who fuck them?
I'm trying to figure out, like, because they'd also be of a similar, I don't want to say genus, because I don't think genus is the exact right word.
That's what I was going with, species, and if I'm wrong, whoever's listening to this that knows, it's driving them insane that I'm saying species.
Dude, imagine like walking through the woods, like going on a hike and just walking up on that.
What, a Sasquatch or somebody fucking a Sasquatch?
Somebody fucking a Sasquatch. You're probably gonna automatically say it's bestiality.
Well, I mean, let's say that Tilly, Nick's dog, wasn't fucked to death by Nick's other dog. Let's say Nick fucked Tilly to death. What do you think about that?
That would be
I mean,
not right.
I'd shoot him in the face with an actual gun.
I was gonna say, with your dick, you're trying to get like a weird threesome going to where he's fucking a dog and your face fucking him.
That's disturbing. It is very disturbing.
Well,
Greg,
here's the disturbing thing. Like a buddy of mine, his cousin, he recently came to light that his cousin digs horses.
so Greg, my question to you is, can you visualize Nick fucking Tilly while Dale fucks Nick's face?
I probably could if I thought hard enough, but I just don't think.
No, just I'm just saying, like, if you close your eyes right now, do you see it?
I
I
really
could
hope
see
you
it
don't.
happening.
Oh my god.
How do you feel about that?
Horrified. Like if I saw it actually happening in front of me, I'd probably just shoot myself.
You wouldn't shoot us, just
He would
Shoot
shoot himself.
yourself.
He would shoot himself all over his stomach and like chest area from all the jerking off he'd be doing in the corner. Nick, did you find the
Fuck
answer
you.
to your question?
No, I have not found the answer to my Oh yeah, they would be a different species. Yeah,
So-
genus would make them I think for it to be bestiality, they have to be a different genus though.
So Sasquatch is real. You plow a Sasquatch, not bestiality. Would it technically almost be like mixing salt and pepper?
I don't know. We'd have to find a different spice because for some reason Sasquatch in my head's like brown. It's
Well-
like someone crossed a human and a brown bear.
it's like mixing salt with oregano.
So it'd be like mixing salt with oregano. So in your dad's case, he would be like,
You don't mix salt and oregano.
take fucking a Sasquatch out of it. My question is, why would anyone fuck an animal?
Disturbing.
Because sometimes you're just completely unattracted to your own species.
Not what you don't have to go to that.
Your
level.
options are animals or fat bitches.
I just
Fat bitches all day.
Well,
Exactly,
Dale-
Dale. Exactly.
Dale, you'll do fat bitches regardless. He's like all day, every day. I don't care. I don't discriminate. And I'm like, I do. I don't like skinny bitches. I don't like fat bitches. That's been highly noted on here. But I feel like you could pay for sex, or like find some crack whore or something. Somebody, like, you don't have to go plowing a sheep, a horse, a dog, or a cat, or a guinea pig, or whatever. You don't have to go to that point. So why would someone do that?
Fucked up in the head.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also taboo in society, so they're doing something that isn't
Yeah,
that
but
is actually illegal in some cases, but more than that is no, you're not supposed to. Like, it's been one of the oldest laws.
right, but like putting your dick in some girl's ass is taboo in society, but that's not the same as plowing a fucking sheep or something.
So I don't really know about that analogy, but I do have to say I can't really say the taboo thing is that good of an excuse either. I think it mainly just comes down to just being fucked up in the head. Like, you just have a mental condition that you really need to get checked out on, because that shit's gross, yo.
All that aside, I think we've talked about enough fucking of animals. Bigfoot and evolution had to be about fucking. I don't even know if it will be legal for us to put this episode up due to the fact that we have Nick on it, and I really don't want the Mexican government/cartel coming after us. But then again, the chances of them hearing this are slim to none. So make sure you share this with everyone that you know so that they can come and find us. And probably bring a couple donkeys to fuck in the process. This has been episode 50. This will be the last episode for a while. I do not know how long the hiatus is going to be. I do not know who will be on when we come back. Nick, thank you for coming on
Always a
and being
pleasure.
a not so
thanks
special
for-
guest.
Yes, thanks for joining us again, Nick. It was nice having your own twisted sense of depravity on the show again.
It feels right. It feels right.
So that does it for another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I have been your host. My name is Michael Mayhew, and I have been here with my co-hosts.
Dale.
And Greg.
Don't forget to check us out on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, YouTube, all the other ones, whichever ones. Check us out on the Android. You can listen to us on there. Donate to us on PayPal. It would be nice to have a budget when we come back from our hiatus. And that's it. Later, fellas.